5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lights are on. Check. Camera check. And action. Girl Zhanè Simone, and I'm back with this video as I promised. You guys, I'm so excited to do this story time with you guys because I really want to share this experience. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be sharing with you my experience visiting China as a Black African American melanated queen. So during this time, I was 19. I got accepted into a study abroad program. I was attending Government Community College. Shout out to Global Government for this amazing opportunity. I went to China for free, y'all. Yes, I did. So, well, you know, nothing is free because I had to do an analytical independent research, which is so cool because I was there for 2 weeks and I was analyzing China's economy. During my research, as I figured out what was my interest, I decided that I wanted to focus on fashion, and once I zoomed into the fashion concept, I went more into women. So I started to just do research on how China's economy uses women empowerment to better their economy as a whole. So let me just share with you guys my experience. So going to China, first of all, I just want to say over there it's amazing. It really did open up my worldview. So one of the things I immediately noticed once I returned back to New York City from China was the scale of diversity compared to China here. Like, there's so many melanated people in New York City. Like, you guys are, I'm coming from New York City, like the most diverse place in the world. Like, everybody comes to New York City from China, from Africa. You got everybody from Europe. You got everybody here in New York. So it's so diverse. But when you're in China, you don't see melanated people like me. You don't see people with coarse hair like me. You don't see people of height like me so as often. So you can only imagine why it's so different to them to see someone like me. So I'm definitely gonna insert some clips so you guys can see how the Chinese people reacted when they see me. I was the only African American girl out of 12 other students in my group that went to China, so I definitely stood out.
Superstar.
You are a superstar. You have no fear. Before, I definitely was prepared too before we went. I went through so many different trainings, sexual harassment training. We even had a guest speaker come to our class. He was African American male, and he said that he went to China and they thought he was a famous basketball player and he got the celebrity treatment. And as soon as he finished his speech, he looked at me and he was like, you're definitely gonna get the celebrity treatment. They're gonna think you're Beyonce or something. And as soon as he was done, I'm just like that's normal. I'm from New York. Like, people already look at me in the street here and be like, oh my god, like, are you Halle Berry or something, or I want to have Halle Berry baby. So I'm used to that. But definitely it's different in China. They would come up to me and want to touch my hair. They would ask to take pictures with me. Some people would even like try to sneak pictures, and I would notice them, like, I peep you. Like, they would try to sneak and take pictures and stuff like that. So to me, like, I'm a Leo, so we naturally get attention, so that's something that I'm already used to. So it was nothing like, I'm used to that attention, so I didn't mind it. I know some people may not like that attention, so this is why this is something you should know before you go to China if you're a melanated king or queen, because they're going to be want to touch, you know what I'm saying? So one of my chaperones for the trip, he was Chinese, so he would translate in Mandarin what they would say. I'm like, oh my god, like what are they saying? He'll be like, oh, they say like, is her hair real? Because I'm gonna show you guys definitely like how my hair was styled. And it's so funny because the hairstyle that I had was very Afrocentric, and I usually always have my hair in braids, but I decided to put like beads in my hair. I'm just so extra, you guys. So I already knew I was gonna stand out, so I'm like, why not go all out? You know what I'm saying? They don't see hairstyles like, they don't put beads in their hair, like that's all the way Afrocentric. So definitely during this point in time, I was just starting my modeling career, so I was just really feeling inspired, and it just felt good to be in my skin, because you know, people get excited. It just feels good to see like that type of excitement, especially like, you know, I don't know, like I'm just feeling myself, y'all. I'm just feeling myself. So yeah, I like that attention. So you know, for someone who has that celebrity aura to them, of course I'm gonna feel like, yes, take a picture of me. So I felt like a superstar, so I felt like I was in my element. Like shout out to China, because y'all made me feel like I was in my element. So a little quick backstory. So I was on a train going from Beijing to Shanghai, and this train ride is like 5 hours. So I have my luggage, and I was in the aisle. It's like a small aisle, and I have my suitcase, and there's like no room for anybody else to walk past. Warning, you guys, if you're from New York, be aware of this. In the Chinese community, it's like, it kind of seems like to me it seemed as if like there's a different boundaries as far as personal space, because I got pushed with no remorse, like with no cares given in the world. I can't remember if it was a female or a male, but they pushed me. So yeah, I definitely got pushed. They didn't say excuse me, they didn't say move, they didn't say nothing in Mandarin to let me know, because you know, all you have to do, you don't even have to talk to say excuse me. You could just be like, no, they bombarded me, like, you know what I'm saying? So in New York City, that's a fight. You already know on the train, nobody is playing that. So just be optimistic. In the Chinese culture, that's just something that happens, and that is my experience. That may not be your experience, but that's definitely my experience in the Chinese community. So I definitely want to share at least 4 different places that I visited while in China. One place being the Great Wall of China. My experience visiting the Great Wall of China, you know, I'm gonna insert some clips right here. It was so unique because it was freezing cold. It was about 5 degrees. The Great Wall of China was about 2 hours away from where I originally was staying, and where I was staying, it was 70 degrees. No one in my group was prepared for this type of weather, so we literally had to, well, I was prepared, y'all, because I brought enough jackets to give to my peers. So I was bundled up, and I still had another jacket to give to someone else. But my footwear, I was not prepared, because I had on these Nike Presto sneakers, and they like not for the snow at all. And the Great Wall of China is literally like hiking, so like we hiked the Great Wall of China, so I was slipping and sliding. I had long nails, so it was like my hands was cold. It was hard for me to like grab on. So literally this experience was really a challenge, because I was scared for my dear life, and I wasn't gonna just not go on the Great Wall of China. So it was just like literally a challenge, because I had to push myself, and it was really scary, because like, and that right there, like that experience right there was so what's the word, it was so just inspiring to see teamwork, because my group really helped each other. Like, I remember a lot of the times I had to hold, you guys, like, I want to cry right now because I had to hold on for dear life just trying to get to the other side. Like, it was just, I'm just so glad that we made it, because go to the Great Wall of China and hopefully it's not snowing and freezing cold. Not in a million years would I ever think that I'll be on the Great Wall of China. So another place that I visited that I'm going to share with you guys was the Oriental Pearl Tower, which is the district tower for radio and television. It is a landmark, a beautiful attraction in Shanghai, and like literally the building is so cute and it's really a statement. There's 114 floors. There's 15 sightseeing views, so it's like, I'm definitely gonna insert the footage here. You can see that there's like glass floors, so it's definitely like a cool attraction that I recommend. If you don't like heights and if you scared of things like this, then I definitely don't recommend you go here. But there's other things there, like restaurants, museums and stuff like that, so that place is really, really cool. So the next place, the third place that we visited was the Volkswagen Factory. So this was my first time going to a car factory. We actually was inside the factory and got to watch the Chinese people work on these factories. Fun fact, if you're from New York City, you know we have those yellow taxis, so a lot of those taxis are Volkswagen, so they were produced and made in China, which is so cool because, you know, our city is flooded with those cars, so you can only imagine the impact and the amount of money that they're making. The next and last place that we visited that I recommend you guys to all go visit is Tiananmen Square, aka the Forbidden City. So this is a place where thousands of peaceful protesters were killed in 1989. So as you know, China is a communist country, and you know, if unfortunately, you know, these people went against the government and they were killed. But here we got to see the soldiers in their uniform and stuff like that. We got to see people protesting. There was a lot of people outside, so I definitely do, you know, recommend to go visit this historical site in China. So some overall points that I just want to touch on. Before I went to China, I went to go visit my doctor just to discuss like whether or not I should get a vaccine or not to prevent getting sick. I chose not to get a vaccine. However, I did get a stomach bug while I was there my first couple of days. I remember visiting this place, this restaurant called Hot Pot, and this is a cool restaurant because they have like a nail service right before, like as you wait for your table, they have a nail service so you can get your nails in. But unfortunately they were booked the day I was there, so I wasn't able to get my nails in while I wait. But there's definitely a cool service that they have. However, after I ate the food, I had it's funny because I'm telling a story and I'm starting to feel that feeling in my stomach right now, but it's a feeling I would not wish on anybody. So I was just feeling really gassy. Like I just remember feeling like I had to let it out through both ends, meaning my mouth and my booty. Like I just felt like it was just stuck, like it just had to come out which way. I didn't know which way it was gonna come out, and I remember just feeling so like I just wanted to crawl up. So I crawled up in a shower, and I was probably in the shower for hours just letting the hot water run over me. I felt sick for about a day and I finally got better. I just remember not really eating the food, and I remember smelling the spices all over town, and it just making my stomach, like I was just resistant to the food. I had honey buns, brownies, granola bars in my bag, so I was just snacking on that. During the second week, I was able to get it together. I think for the first week, I just noticed that they wanted us to get accustomed to the Chinese culture, so we were just only going to Chinese restaurants. But in the second week, thank God, it was like a surprise. They really surprised us. They was like, oh, we got a surprise for you guys. So we went to like American dining restaurants. So they had like burgers and like I forget what they probably had, like steaks, so like, you know, regular American food, french fries and stuff like that. So we did find some. Oh, we went to a Mexican restaurant in the mall somewhere. So we definitely were able to taste something like close to home. And another thing I want to mention is that the food, like the Chinese food, is nothing like America. And you know, we have, especially in New York City, we have probably the best American Chinese food here. It's nothing like, so don't go to Beijing or Shanghai especially expecting to get some type of chicken wings and puffer rice, because it ain't happening. They ain't got that. They white rice tastes nothing like the white rice that they serve here, at least from my experience and the places that I've been to. It's not the same. So overall, like China, I love it. It's extremely futuristic. I definitely want to go back. The infrastructure is so, like, I feel like China is way ahead of America in so many ways. The train station, they have a wonderful train station. The train is always on time. You cannot be late for work in China, because that train is gonna be at the door, and if you don't get on it, they have it where they have guards standing at the train and the door closes. The door forcibly closes. So one of our students got left. Yes, he did. He got left at the train station. So good thing we had good communication. We was able to meet him. He knew what stop to meet us at, and we was able to meet back up. But definitely that train will leave you. You hear me? So definitely I hope that the world can find peace, that we can be able to be universal again. And I definitely hope that this virus doesn't, you know, prolong, so we can get back to, you know, traveling the world and, you know, opening our horizons and being open to different cultures. That, you know, I really enjoyed my celebrity experience in China, and China's amazing. I definitely felt like that's a place for me, and I definitely feel like I will visit China again once this whole thing airs out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to know more about China, like things I should know before traveling to China, I will gladly do that video for you guys. And stay tuned. Bye.